Welcome to Flying Lessons. Glad you could be with us. All right, here's a little poem action for this week, specially designed for this show, actually. I slipped beyond the weight of skin where silence opened wide and found the stars were not above, but waiting just inside. I sailed through the rivers made of light, past worlds without a name, where galaxies turn slowly like embers in a flame. No road, no wall, no gravity, no edge that I could see, only the endless universe unfolding into me. And in that vast eternal dark, one shining truth came through. I was not merely seeing the stars, but the stars were seeing too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another installment of Being a Light. I'm just, whoever brought up that whole like CERN thing, all those people, like, I had a couple weeks where it was like, oh, they turned CERN off. Now time's slowing down again. Man, those, I don't know where they're living in the world, but time for me is just like rushing by at warp speed. It's pretty amazing. Hello. The wielder of the rainbow ray, Lynn Juno herself. So happy you could make it to the live show tonight. Awesome. Shadow, what's up? Evie, glad to see you, girlfriend. We got to talk. Yeah, Jennifer McCormick. Excellent, man. Everybody's like hanging. This is great. I enjoy getting together with the family. Like that's kind of how it feels now. It's like, wow, that's so cool. So just as always, want to start the show with a huge thanks and blast of gratitude to my sponsor, Ernie Mosteller at Fried Okra Entertainment. Totally behind the mission and putting it up with his money and keeping us going. And just grateful to the bone, my brother. So thank you very much. And scope out Ernie's work, man. He's an amazing creative person at Ernie Mosteller on Instagram. Yeah. In a couple weeks, I'm going to show a bunch of his stuff because it'd just really be worth letting you get to scope it out. All right. So a couple of things. These are just little random things I've been wanting to share with you for a while, but I talk about a jewel a lot, right? Like that's my visual metaphor for the path and being on a quest for the light. And if you imagine this thing just being like the whole sky, so that you were just looking up at it and it's just slowly turning and the sun is happening behind it. So like each one of those little facets is a different rainbow spectrum, and like no two of them are the same and at the same time. So and which one's more beautiful? Like they're all beautiful, so you pick the one that you love, the paths that have heart for you, but they all wind up at the same place. right down there at the point of the source. So it's just such a beautiful metaphor in many, 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 many different ways. And it's really easy to get magical snobbery and think that whatever road that you're on right now is the only road and that's the only way to roll. And that's just so not true. And like the roads are infinite and they're all happening even as we are speaking. That's a crazy thing. And we're going to talk about learning how to fly and to leave your body and go explore the astral tonight. And that's one of the best things about the astral was like time as we understand it ceased to exist there. And the future, the past, now, frequency, like dimensions, they're all like at that single point, like right in the absolute center of the yin and yang circle. Yeah, really crazy. So, man, the energy I've been in a good place. Time is swinging down the drain. That's the truth, Lynn. Um, I've been in a pretty cool place. I came through kind of like a rough, like month and a half there, man, where it just felt like everything I had ever used to like kind of define who I am. And like, okay, I'm an artist. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Like it just felt like that whole sweater, like it just came unraveled. And it was disconcerting for a couple of days because I'm always about like, oh, okay, well, which direction? That one's not working. Let's move. Let's just keep moving. And I think I mentioned this last week. Every single message I got from the universe was, dude, take a chill, sit down, wait, and be patient. It's too bad that Vivian isn't here. I'd kid her. She and I are the patient twins. And I just rebelled against that. And that was the actual nature of my discomfort. And like not being able to nail down a specific answer and like a time frame. And it's like, oh man, just let go. After our show a few weeks ago, just let go. And I really did. And like all the descriptions, like, I don't know, maybe I'm an artist, maybe not. I don't know what that even means anymore. And yeah, yikes, exactly, Lynn. Yikes. Um, yeah, man, it was a really difficult thing. But anyway, I've gotten out of that and I'm in a really cool place. And like, I actually made it through the waiting and it's all good. And now, like, okay, it's time. So, some really great things have started to percolate and materialize that are just really great confirmations that, like, okay, you're doing the right thing here. It's been a really interesting time in that, like, so many of the things that are going on for me, and I'd love to hear from you guys too. Yeah, Jennifer, that's the craziness. Jennifer Rose, Ms. Rose, good to see you. The Golden Rose. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, and speaking of which, I missed the shows like mine. I Jennifer did an amazing show. Like I love her Embracing Infinity show on Friday afternoons. For me anyway, I think that's noon her time. But this past week she had on Ashley Page, and wow, what a beautiful, glowing little soul. I wrote a little note to Jennifer and Ashley, like, you guys are so bright. I need to bring my sunscreen. Man, it was just a really great show. So if you get a few minutes and you're looking for something to do, go back and scope out the replay on that show. It was super cool. And make sure that you stick around tonight after this show for Jennifer's The Love Show. I think she's got something really cool and special cooked up for tonight. And her guests are always really thought-provoking and great to listen to. So make sure you check that out. And next week on Being the Light, my good friend Leah is going to come on, and we're going to talk about like as many solutions as there are stars in the sky, and trying to um, and just talk about that whole issue. Yes, indeed. So please join me and Leah next week. I think it'll be a really fun and lively conversation. Um, yeah, she's one of my favorite practitioners, and I'm looking really forward to sharing her with you. You're welcome. Yes, lots of changes of perspective this month, and lots of things attracting, and lots of things going away, and that kind of gets me to my other point here about the energy right now. I feel like I'm in a really good centered, like okay, I'm really good, and at the same time, I get calls from people for different stuff, and I I went through a spate of like lots of healings, like lots of physical healings, like yeah, and really some a couple of amazing, like one of them has been kind of miraculous in a really crazy way that I'm ooh, kind of over the top on. So there's been like and people are getting their like eyes opened up and their brains opened up, and revelations and messages, and there's lots of elevation happening on this side of the scale, and then on this side of the scale in the last I do lots of house cleansings and personal groundings and possessions, and um, anything like that. I do, like cleansing shadow people and that thing. So that's definitely on the darker side of the spectrum. And I have noticed, those would happen like occasionally, but not all the time. But in the last 3 months, I've gotten more of those than um, I have in the last 3 or 4 years, and it's pretty crazy. And I had a really crazy poltergeist experience, and I'm still sort of tripping out about this. Still pretty fresh. Somebody referred me to this woman and her husband, and they had supposedly um, a poltergeist infestation. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll come over and scope it out. So I was like, I got over and I met them, and they looked really haggard, and I'm like, describe to me what's happening. Tell me what's going on. They said, no, here, just walk this way. And they took me to the kitchen. They opened up the kitchen, and every freaking cabinet door was going. They're all opening and closing. The little drawers are pulling out. I've never seen anything like that. I've seen a lot of stuff. I have never seen anything like that in my entire life. We backed off and had to get kind of regroup because that was not what I was prepared for at all. And I think it was super successful. We'll see what happens. As time goes on, I'm still monitoring that situation because that's really intense energy on a number of different levels. So kind of crazy watching the pendulum swing back and forth, but staying right in the center, like seems to be the place of stability right at the moment. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, this is really fun. I did some light painting with my friend, my little neighbor across the road, Jacob, and Jacob. Jacob's a badass, like 3D. He does a lot of 3D printing. He does his own 3D modeling and does his own 3D printing. And he's a big anime freak, so he wound up making a whole series of swords that were out of specific anime scenarios, and try to make them like absolutely 100% accurate. So this one was really cool, and I wound up taking him out, and we did up a little session and I'm just so tickled, man. What a fun shot. Yeah, that sword looks like metal. I'm like, wow, that's actually plastic. Yeah. Here's another one we did. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. The sword going through that face right there in the front. Yeah. And then next night I did one of my own, and I'm really happy with the way this turned out too. I did a cool little mirror on it, and it's just blast the light, bright like the sun. Yeah. All right. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah. So just kind of on, I get my little slogans and my little hey, thank you, Shadow, appreciate that. Um, my little mantras for the moment, and my mantra right now is expect nothing and be prepared for absolutely anything. And the more I like think I know, like, okay, this is exactly now that there's turns and twists and like just keep your balance, stay centered, try to not expect anything and let it unfold and be prepared for whatever rolls down the pipe. It's been a crazy little ride, mostly in a really fun way, though. Yeah. All right. So, hey, hello, Katie. Glad you could join us. So, I'm pretty stoked about our subject for tonight, which is Robert Monroe's methodology for achieving an out of body experience. Somebody about 4 or 5 years ago turned me on to the Monroe Institute, and that's how I wound up finding his work. And Robert Monroe, when he was working on the thing we're going to talk about tonight, was part of the CIA or another one of those intelligence kind of black operations that were doing. This is back in the late 60s and 70s. And they were doing a lot of experimentation into psychic abilities and psychics specifically trained to be able to go do remote viewing and to be able to leave their bodies and go somewhere and gather intelligence. And I think that got used, to some degree, with some measure of success. Although I knew, we would never really know how successful that was. But after his time in the military, started this thing called the Monroe Institute, and I'd really strongly encourage you to go scope it out and see what they have available. There's a lot of free stuff available. This Sun and Moon. Yeah, Jennifer McCormick says that's true, especially this week with the lunar eclipse, sun and moon square Uranus within 1 degree. I know. It's just intense. And add to that, like, we just have been getting bombarded like day after day after day of a new solar coronal mass ejection, solar flares, and we're up in the X6. We haven't gotten up to 7 yet, but with like X6, 8, X5, and like, man, that energy is just really intense. If you find yourself really angry and feeling like you want to snap, work your breathing and take a step back before you open your mouth and just realize that not all of it belongs to whatever that is. And that energy that's kind of like bombarding the whole world is kind of contributing to that in a really crazy way. And all of these solar bombardments, man, have just been wearing and wearing and wearing, wearing on the ionosphere, the magnetosphere. I don't know if you know about this, but there's a huge hole like right over Brazil in South America. That'd be worth a look up if you guys are interested in scoping it out. So the Robert Monroe stuff, my own experience with traveling, there's as many different ways actually to get out of your body and go astral travel as there are practitioners. And no matter what system you're using, you're always going to have uh, have to like refine it for your own sensibilities and your own frequencies and find your path through it. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is just the skeleton of the actual process to do the OBE experiment. We're going to go through it really fast because there's like 13 steps of it. It's in on the Monroe Institute website. If you're interested in getting the whole thing and being able to read through it, highly encourage you to do that and scope it out. So anyway, without further ado, learning to travel, that's right up there. 1, 2, 3 for me, as far as like what's been really worthwhile for me to go after, to be able to explore the multiverse at will and to be able to see the different populations of entities and consciousness out there. Yeah, it's made life really super rich. So strongly encourage you. All right, so here we go. I'm shutting up now. All right, first step, establish a really clear intention about what you intend to do. And here's several. Experience separation consciously, travel to a predetermined location, request guidance or information, explore without fear, and return with clear memory. So this is a really critical part of this. Is not actually the separation, but this is the part that's telling your consciousness and your subconscious especially that this is what you want to do and this is what you want to accomplish. All right, so prepare the environment. Choose a really good time when you will not be interrupted, super quiet. Lie down comfortably, preferably on your back. And there will be reason for that here just in a second. Loosen any, keep your clothing really comfortable and no restrictions. Keep the room really dim. I don't like a totally dark room, but I like a really dim room. Get it quiet, remove any, don't have music playing, just have it be silent. And, keep your temperature really cool, like getting too hot. And some people go both ways, man. I know people that when they're really starting to get there, their body temperature goes like way up. And I know some other people as well that go the opposite way. Yes. Melissa, welcome. Tammy Joe, welcome. Yeah, I bet you are, Melissa. Melissa says she's experimenting with those frequencies now. Yes. Amazing. Yeah, and this is a good point too. Like lots of practitioners that I know, like the early morning. I love the early morning. Right after I get up, and I like the early morning, like before it's actually light, like just as dawn is happening, and it's just starting to get light out, and I've come out of sleep, and that span of time where you're awake but you're still in astral dream space. Wow, you come right out of that and go into this mode. It's a really good zone. Some people fall asleep if they do it at the end of the day too. That's another thing to consider. All right, here we go. On to the next one. Okay, this is really important, and this is where the lying down part of it really happens. You need to really just relax in a very profound way, and you need to really like kind of concentrate on each part of the body, slow and deepen your breathing, consciously relax your legs and your feet. You know, you don't really realize how much, when you think you're relaxed, how much of your body is still exerting pressure on muscles to hold your hands in a certain way. So that's why it's really good to be able to be laying down in a place where you can just completely let go, like all the way, right? Relax the abdomen and the chest, each one of the breaths. Do a really nice deep breath with each one of these. Fill up and just really concentrate on that particular and just letting go. And like it sort of happens after my breath runs out that like I'm able to like just like you just let the air out of the balloon, right? Um, and allow the body to feel increasingly heavy and distant. Yeah. And do not constantly check whether your body is relaxed. That redirects your attention. Oh, am I relaxed yet? You don't think about that. Just go through each of the sections that you're consciously letting go of and be in that space and start to feel the heaviness and the distance. Yeah. Um, that checking your body and focusing on whether you're really relaxed yet, that redirects attention back into your physical sensation and mind remains relatively alert. Okay, you enter the hypnagogic borderland. Remain. This is where it starts to get a little tricky, and it's going to take some practice. If you're used to meditating already, this will be a lot easier. If you're just getting started with that practice, give yourself some time on this, and don't insist on instantaneously success. Instantaneous success, and just keep working it and working it and working it. So remain mentally observant while the body approaches sleep. That's why I say the morning is often really good for me because I've already gotten the sleep I need. I'm still in that sleep sort of state though, and it's a really good, smooth, easy transition. Yeah. And be aware of what you're observing mentally as this is happening, fleeting images, colors or specific patterns, fragments or voices or music. And this is a really good one too. When you start to feel this, this is when you know you're actually like taking off. A sensation of drifting or a change in your body size, feeling like your body size or position is moving. Like one of the ways to do the step out is to feel your body kind of doing a rotation and it starts to spin. And as it comes around, you just roll right out. It's really super awesome. Okay, observe these without following them into ordinary sleep. That's the crux of this whole step. Monroe's earlier terminology described progressive conditions of relaxation. Yeah. All right. Reach focus 10. Mind awake, body asleep. At this stage, the body feels asleep, numb, or very heavy. Breathing continues automatically. Physical boundaries may become indistinct, like the edges get really fuzzy, and the mind remains calm and observant. Focus 10 is the central foundation of the Monroe system. It does not automatically mean that an OBE will occur. It is the condition from which separation may become possible. So, this is a super critical point. Move toward expanded awareness Instead of concentrating on your muscles or breathing, place awareness in the space around your body, several feet above you. And this is this is such a great gem, man. This is one of the stellar gems of my collection. Because as you're realizing that your attention can move anywhere it wants to go, it frees you to go anywhere you want to go on any frequency you want to explore. It's awesome. So, okay, in the space around you, you're placing your awareness in the space around your body, several feet above you, at a destination somewhere up in the room, somewhere else in the room, like putting your attention all the way up into the farthest corner of the room and looking back. Man, that looking back at yourself, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. When you can look back and see your own aura, holy moly, crazy good. Okay, and then on the feeling of consciousness expanding outward. Yeah, that's the best feeling. I'm so addicted to that. The objective is to shift the center of your attention away from the body without becoming unconscious. We're still doing okay. All right. Sorry about that. Allow the vibrational state to develop. Monroe frequently described an energetic or vibrational stage preceding separation. And I experienced several of these myself. I don't do the internal buzzing, but I get the electrical or wave-like movement really crazy. I don't really experience the roaring or rushing sounds, but the pulsation through the body over the top. Not so much trembling, but like movement, like I'm sort of moving without trying to move. A sense of pressure or acceleration. The vibrations do not need to be dramatic. Some people report only mild movement, sound, floating, or a sudden change. That's something else to really highlight here. You know, especially as you're first getting going. You know, they're not going to be the greatest. Like, wow, they're not going to blow your mind. And what you need to look for are the subtle changes that happen, and those are the ones that you latch onto and keep feeding and practicing on. All right, so now we're to goodness, separation techniques. The first one is the one I brought up just a few minutes ago. You're flat and your body is rotating, although you really wouldn't have to be flat, but it'd be better if you just stayed there from that space, and you're feeling yourself starting to turn until the sensation of rotation becomes really vivid. Then complete the turn and just slide out with your attention. As it completes, you just keep moving. Sounds ridiculously simple, but it's the preparing the ground, and that part of it is actually very simple and fun. Target method, and concentrate on a really familiar location elsewhere in the room or the house. Rather than imagining yourself traveling there, experience yourself as if you were already present there. Like, this can happen instantaneously. You know, when I do my reach outs for you guys at the end of the show with the cards, like, boom, that's exactly what's happening. And I mean, there is no distance on the astral. There is no actually having to like go 100 miles. And that's blank space. That's the point in blank space. And that's also one of the greatest ways to astral travel ever. Get to blank space, choose a frequency, and boom, you're there. Done. Awesome. All right. Target method is the selecting a location. And then last is the doorway method. Imagine a door nearby, move toward it mentally and pass through it, which is one of the things I use these red doors behind me for and have for many, many, many years. All right, let's see here. The lift out method, this is a really good one. I love this one. Imagine yourself becoming lighter and lighter, rising vertically above the body. You know, this we kind of do this when we like go and do our meditation in the golden ocean, and you're just sliding and you lift your attention up, especially when we do like our source meditation, or we're going up into the sky. You know, it's that just easy leaving and looking and being aware and getting to observe all around you. Yeah. All right. And last, the rollout method. This is great. I think this is maybe one of my favorite ones, although the lift out method is kind of a go-to. That was sort of my natural one, but this one I really like, the rollout method. Imagine rolling sideways out of bed without engaging the muscles. Like you aren't using your body at all, but you're just rolling out of the bed. Feel the movement rather than physically performing it. Oh, that's such a good piece right there, man. That is such a great piece. Imagine rolling sideways out of bed without engaging the muscles using your body, and just feel the movement rather than physically performing it. And that's another really great place. You know, when you're coming out of that early morning still and half dream space, you're already in that zone. Woo, super easy to grab it. So strongly encourage you. All right. Now, once you're out and you're starting to really cruise, make sure that you don't ask yourself these questions. Am I really out? Can I still feel my body? What is my body doing? You want to like completely not be in check on where you're attached to at that point. All right. Let's see here. Just a few more. This is still part of this. Move several feet away and engage the environment. Touch a wall or surface. This is really great. I love this one a lot. Examine your hands. Like that's one of the things I do no matter, like if I'm going to a new frequency, that's the very first thing I do when I get there is I look at my hands. State your intended destination. Ask for clarity. Request greater awareness, and observe all the details very carefully. Use deliberate navigation. Monroe's description suggests that non-physical movement responds more to thought and intention than to muscular effort. Like the energy is not, your muscles aren't doing the energy, you know, and that's one of the things I sort of think about when we're doing our breathing exercises, because that drawing energy is not really connected to your breath. It's just a really great way to kind of like trick your mind and your energy together to be working in tandem. But it's not the act of pulling the breath that draws the energy, it's your intent and you're pulling with your own energy. So it's kind of the same thing here. All right, so to travel, form a clear destination or person in your mind. Hold the intention without straining. Allow the scene or location to change naturally. And accept that the transition may feel absolutely instantaneous. If you're all of a sudden there, don't doubt. Just be there. Right? I did that a lot at the beginning. Like, this can't be real because it happened too fast. But that's a really good thing. All right. And last but not least, return consciously. And to return, think clearly of your physical body. You know, we talk about that in the blank space meditation, and bring yourself back. Intend to reconnect. Start with your fingers and your toes. Those really nice deep breath, and then open the eyes slowly, and then you're here. And I didn't make a card for this, but like keep a journal and conditions and how you felt and what you were doing. And this would be a really rich and worthwhile addition to your toolbox of astral tools. So there we go. All right, let's get rid of this. Wow, I ran really long on that. So let's get in a nice blank space, make some sacred space, and then I'll be happy to do readings for anyone that wants them. Song is my favorite part. Me and you, Jennifer. All right, here we go. With the brilliant, radiant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the radiant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant light of the source, the true light, the true light, the true light. I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With joy and gratitude, we come together today to make our sacred circle our place of safety, sanctuary, and light. We ask that our angels, our guides, and allies be with us tonight, share their wisdom, their knowledge, their absolute love of the source. We ask that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand, and with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Infinite unconditional love. Infinite unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source, we open our circle. Welcome, Heidi. Glad you could make it too. All right, here we go. We're going to go down to blank space. I think all of us need it. I know I really do. So put some oomph into this one, okay? Here we go. Inhale. Use your solar plexus. Draw the golden source. Really fill it up. And release the noise, the chaos, the static of the world fading into the distance. No future, no past. Deeper silence. And inhale, make it count, really stretch. Let that gold infuse your whole being. And release, sinking deeper and deeper into the bliss of the stillness. No thoughts, no mind. Deeper silence. Last one. We're going to hold this one for 30. Inhale, make it count. Stretch it. When you think you're full, add some more. And release. Turning off the machine. Winding down. Silence. $15. And 30. Take a nice deep breath. Two more. Come back to your body. One more. All right, just hang there for a couple seconds. That was good. All right, if anybody's looking for a reading this evening, hook me up down in the chat. In the meantime, I'm going to do a group family reading. Words of wisdom for our energetic family. Words of wisdom for our energetic family. Words of wisdom. For our energetic family. Number 12, the angel of refuge and shelter. All right, let me do a little cleanup here real quick. There we go. Let's add this up. Ill-prepared. You know, I need some elevator music for when I screw up like this. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, shut up and find the file. There we go. Voila. All right. Number 12. Yeah, this one's a little harsh. Dissatisfaction. It's the prison that locks you in an unsatisfying lifestyle, job, or relationship. You need to face the fear that says you'll fail and all your efforts will be for nothing. When you have planted the seed and completed the work, oh man, sometimes it just feels like they're just thumbing me. You have to wait. Wait for the fruit to grow and ripen when it's ready. Plan your crop. Sow the seeds most likely to grow with no expectations. Cultivate patience. Refrain from dwelling on your doubt and fear of failure while you wait. That's the key part to that, man, because you can undo the best intent, like it's already happening. And while it's in the middle of congealing and things are lining up, you're going, oh man, that didn't work. Like yeah, I know that from really personal experience. I've ruined more of my rituals than I can even begin to tell you. Resist the call of depression when things are slow. Don't worry about finances. Learn from the lesson being presented and understand when your focus is feeling pity for yourself, the work cannot continue. Oh man, you guys, your own impatience can ruin everything. God. Measure your decisions now before you move ahead. Be objective and ask yourself, is this what I really want? Maintain balance on all levels. Be aware of others and not inflict hurt on anyone during this time of change. All righty. All right, Miss Juno, wielder of the rainbow ray. I can't help it, like, come up with nicknames for all you guys. Yeah, that's right, Miss Juno, the P word. Yes, and it was the Jeopardy song. Okay. All right, Lynn, 3 deep breaths, my darling. Words of wisdom from my good friend Lynn. Words of wisdom from my good friend Lynn. Words of wisdom from my good friend Lynn. Number 47, the angel of contemplation. Yeah. Sit, be still, wait, and have patience. You know, the truth of the matter is those lessons are lessons you picked out for yourself a long time ago before you ever like moved into the meat sack. So, yeah, the longer you put them off, more intense they get every single time they go around. All right, so here's number 47. This one's for you, Len. The farther you stretch past your comfort zone, the louder the fear voice becomes. And where fear exists, there is also the opportunity for growth. Don't be timid. Don't be timid. Move on. Use your fear like rocket fuel to propel you forward. You create your visions of the future on the astral, but for them to actually become reality, they must be given substance and juice and tangible plans. Without tangible energy, that will remain only daydreams. Rise above your situation. Be realistic now. Use common sense to map out a plan. Visualize the possibilities and see clearly in your mind the good things that have already happened. With your skills and abilities so well developed, it is time to decide where, when, how to use them. Allow your mind to explore the potentials. Here is a taking stock, a looking at the material interface, a harvesting at the emotional level, and then a reinvestment in the emotional future. There you go. All right, Jennifer McCormick, this one's for you, girl. Hello, Ashley Page. Great show on Friday. All right. Jennifer, you know the deal. All right. Bring it down, get nice and focused. Words of wisdom from my good friend, Jennifer McCormick. Words of wisdom from my good friend, Jennifer McCormick. Words of wisdom from my good friend, Jennifer McCormick. Ah, number two, the angel of love and wisdom. I love this card. It's a little dark. It keeps like darkening, but it's like so bright. It's one of the most vibrant ones in the whole deck. I always just feel the energy radiating off of that one. Enough is enough is enough. The sludge of dissatisfaction has coated you for way too long. You're ready to flip it and make whatever changes you need to overhaul the whole damn thing. Let go of the restricting beliefs that limit the limitless you. Uh, yeah, the limitless you. It's really amazingly awesome. You don't even know yet. The discovery of your ultimate potential is right in your grasp. Seize the moment with all you have. The vital energy to explore your new world is there for you. Taking the empty handed leap into the void is never easy. Leaving behind the past and the things you've used to define you can really rock your world. As I was talking about just a little moment ago, man, everything unraveled, and I like it was not a pleasant feeling. Stay the course and give it your all. Be balanced and in tune with the energy world around you, and you will begin to feel yourself emerging from your chrysalis. You reclaim so much energy and joy. The waves of wonder and awe wash over you and face the fear of the unknown. Look it right in the eye. Embrace those emotions, for they are the fertile soil of a brand new life. Swim, love this, swim in the energetic ocean and enjoy your sweet freedom. Woohoo. All right. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody here. All right, we've got, yeah, all right. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me. And I hope I didn't bore you too much on all the the reading things with the Monroe thing, but really, it's a great little methodology, and I would way love to get your impact on that. You're welcome, Jennifer. It's always a pleasure to read for you. You have really beautiful energy. I always enjoy connecting. So, again, next week I'm going to be having my friend Leah Kittner on, and it should be a really lively and really good show. Make sure that you stick around and stay tuned for yes, the effervescent Jennifer Rose on the Love Show right after this. I think she's got something special cooked up tonight, and make sure that you love yourself really hard. I just can't overemphasize Yeah. The need for you to give your love to yourself first. That was one of the things I was like, I wish I'd been able to get to Jennifer and Ashley on Friday. She was making that comment too at the end of the show. And like, if you can't really fully love yourself and give yourself the full like jolt of that, you can't really pass that on. So the more you fill yourself with the love, especially that unconditional love from the source that wants nothing, is just love. Ah, and you rain that down on yourself and send that back and let it reflect and send that back and let it reflect. That's the way to roll. So make sure you give yourself extra hugs and extra kisses and a really great big squeeze. All right. So, I always have to do this, to hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, a hashtag live, anything to help us get it out to more people. I really look forward to our practice sessions every week, and I hope you do as well. I hope they make you feel better at the end of the show than when you got here. So thank you immensely. If anyone wants to, discuss the Monroe stuff or any of the other things that we've been over during the course of the show, you're always welcome to contact me either at brianlar@gmail or wizard@wizardofodd.com. Either one of those, I'd be happy to have a wonderful discourse with you. All right, it did go by fast, Lynn. Thanks for joining us live. I know that's not really working with your schedule too much every week. It was so good to see you. You're welcome, Evie. All right, so here we go. We're going to close it up. We joyously come to the end of our gathering and send everyone on their happy way. We thank our angels, our guides, and allies for their wisdom, their knowledge, their understanding, and love of the source. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, our wish for unconditional, infinite unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, we close our circle. Be in the light.